Hello and welcome back to the Shades of Orange. Today I want to review Artemis by Andy Weir, which yes, is the follow-up to The Martian, which of course I have read and absolutely loved. This new book is set in our own universe in a future where we have colonized the moon. The main story is told from the perspective of Jazz, who is a young 20-something who lives on the moon and makes her living smuggling. The story starts by her getting an opportunity to pull off a heist, which is going to make her tons of money and get her out of her impoverished living situation. Given that synopsis, you can probably guess this is a pretty fun, lighthearted book. I think it's going to most appeal to readers who don't normally read science fiction, just because it is very easy to get into. It has a very simple world building, and particularly, I think it's going to appeal to readers of young adult fiction. The main character is arguably very immature, and it just read to me like a young adult novel. However, it does contain some vulgar language. There are a lot of F-bombs as well as references to sex, so it is decidedly an adult novel, but I think it's going to have a lot of YA crossover appeal. I did appreciate some of the things that Weir did with his book. I like that he imagined a future that wasn't Western-centric. What I mean by that is that the country Kenya actually played a really large role in the story in colonizing the moon, and I just thought it was really interesting. The main character is also a non-practicing Muslim of Saudi Arabia descent, and I just really liked those diverse elements mixed into the story. As well, the book does address some really important themes like social class and poverty, and I did really appreciate those deeper elements, which did add some depth to the story, which otherwise was a pretty light adventure story overall. Now, as a follow-up to a major blockbuster hit like The Martian, you've got to ask the question, how does this compare? And I'll be honest, I did not think this was as strong as The Martian at all. I adore that book. I thought The Martian was brilliant, and I thought this one was pretty average in comparison. Any comparisons you're going to make between these two books are going to leave you disappointed as a reader. I recommend if you're going to pick up Artemis, pick it up because the premise sounds interesting, because you enjoy those fun heist stories, particularly if you are interested in books that are more of a YA feel. But if you're expecting the next Martian, you're going to be disappointed. I would actually say that this book has more in common with Ready Player One, because both books deal with younger characters that are trying to get out of their situations of poverty. However, even with that comparison, I do still think Ready Player One is still a stronger book. This one was just, again, average. I enjoyed it. I'm glad I read it, but it's got some really big shoes to fill coming after The Martian, and unfortunately, I was underwhelmed. Those are my general thoughts on Artemis. Again, I do encourage people to pick it up if they're curious for themselves. I'm glad I've read it, but it's not The Martian. That's what everyone's gonna say. Overall, thank you so much for watching. I should mention that I received this book from Netgalley, and as always, my opinions are my own. Thank you, and if you have any questions, please leave them down below in the comments. Have a good one. Okay, bye.